Confetti falls from the roof. And all colours drop upon us in the commentary positions. And fittingly, the colours of Mexico fell on ours. A little reminiscent of Argentina in 1978. A ceremony that perhaps was not the best organised in the world, but certainly was full of warmth. Which maybe is in keeping with the character of the people.
Bulgaria e Italia, que serán los protagonistas del partido número 1 del Mundial. Un aplauso para recibirlo.
Bulgaria will be wearing the white shirts and green shorts. And I hardly need to tell all the Italians watching back in England that their side, the Azzurri, are in their familiar blue. Altibelli! Italy have scored! Alessandro Altibelli, their most consistent striker over the last 4 years, volleys a goal that showed smart finishing and left the defence cold. He got away past the last man from a floated free kick. They'll be talking about the possibility of offside, but I would imagine, Trevor, he timed the run about right. And here's Gospodinov for Bulgaria. Had two running ahead of him there. Galdarese, Scherer and Altibelli in space. They need people in the centre and they've got three. And Scherer, the sweeper's come through. Oh, Mikhailov saved it. Di Gennaro, Altibelli, Cabrini! Well, he holds his head because he must feel he should have scored, Trevor.
It was the same free kick the other way round, and there's Altibelli, free again, and Cabrini was almost a defensive header, wasn't it, to get it over the crossbar? It was, from the replay, it looked harder to miss it than to go in the net.
Always accomplished in that respect down the years. Vialli starts a run here as Di Gennaro pumps the ball through to him. The other two strikers are waiting in the centre. And Altibelli here. Galdarese is square of him. And Altibelli, well saved by Mikhailov. The goalkeeper has distinguished himself on 3 occasions and kept the score down. Once again, Altibelli pulling away from the defenders. Sirakov. Well, no wonder they amnestied the goalkeeper from his ban after the cup final fight. Here's Dravkov. Sirakov in a heading position here. Oh, Sirakov has scored for Bulgaria with 5 minutes to go. Nasko Sirakov, having completed this move by heading beyond Galli's left hand, has gone on a personal lap of honour as we see the goal again, which has taken him way back, but it was between 2 defenders he came and placed the header beautifully. Here's Di Gennaro, and there's the final whistle. And Bulgaria raise their arms, as well they might. That's a moral victory for them. 1-0 down until 5 minutes from the end. They've got a lot to thank the goalkeeper for, I think, Trevor. But it's certainly a most interesting result.
Well, twice as many goals as we've had in an opening match in the World Cup for many, many years. But I don't know, Terry, if justice was done.
No, I don't think it was. I think that they didn't even know how to go about it, the Bulgaria, in the second half. They just played tight, and it was the first time, really, they got across him. They kept going through the middle. And I think when you play against the Italians, you must try and move the sweeper out. And he just stayed there, and so he could have played in his best suit and top hat tonight. In fact, he had one of the best chances, I think, in the second half. He decided to have a bit of exercise himself, run about 80 yards, and received a pass from Altibelli.
Altibelli, yeah.
And
he had some match, Altibelli, didn't he?
I thought he was involved in everything. I thought he was terrific. I thought him and the unknown midfield, there were 3 players that we've not heard a lot of. I thought they were good too. I thought they could count that as a success. But they'll be really upset with that result.
But it was a good goal taken by Sirikov.
Excellent.
And the Italian defence will be very unhappy with it, won't they?
That's right. As I said, the first time they got in a wide position. He took it very well. He really thumped it in.
Well, the man that we were saying played so well in the first half to Napoli was one of those defenders there.
Yes, he was in there, wasn't he? Yeah, but I think a lot of them is, if they have got weaknesses in defending, is in the air. There's indecision on both defenders, isn't there?
And it was absolutely perfectly placed.
That's right.
Well, as I said earlier, we might as well see them from every conceivable angle.
No, that was quite jolly, that game, wasn't it? That was, I mean, for a first
wasn't
game,
a bad opening game at all.
The second half was quite smart, and they played more enterprising, didn't they, Italy, than they did in Spain in the earlier rounds, and didn't really capitalise on it.
But up to that point, it didn't look as though the Bulgarians were...
Never.
Were going to
No.
score.
He certainly took his goal well. 2 good goals. That's a good sign that we're going to get plenty of goals.
Overall, what was your impression of the Italian side compared to the side we were looking at 4 years ago early on?
Well, they've changed it around with some good young players. I thought that Bagni, is it Bagni?
Bagni, Di Napoli and Di Gennaro were the midfield. And,
that's right, Di Gennaro and Napoli as well. I thought those 3 players were good players, and they did enough. They was coming out and playing. But of course, I think the real success was Altobelli. In fact, he laid on the pass for Scirea and for Cabrini. Cabrini should have scored that goal. He got to it, and he did well actually to keep it out of the goal, I thought.
Right, OK, Terry, thanks very much. Let's move over to Saltillo and get the views now of Jimmy and Bobby.
Well, they didn't see the England team, the twist in the tail of that game. They went away very impressed with the Italians and didn't see the Bulgarian equaliser. They'll learn that later. In case you think it's all sunshine and flowers here, their training ground was swamped and they had to change their plans and go off early to the Portuguese camp for their training this afternoon. Good news also from there, it looks as if Brian Robson is certain to play, providing that is there are no accidents between now and when the game is in the week. Bob, that match.
Well, I thought it was a good match. I thought that the Italians actually, before the Bulgarians scored, were actually slaughtering them. You know, it was comprehensive. They limited them to absolutely no chances, really. They close marked them. They were confident. And I thought the Italians were a very, very strong outfit indeed. And I put in my little notes that it was a slaughter. And it was a slaughter, really, even though it was only 1-0. And the goal against them absolutely deflated them, because you could see after the match they were very disappointed. And if they'd have won that match, you know, qualifying for the next stage would have been easy. Now it's difficult. It might get to the stage of who scores the most goals against South Korea.
The next match against Argentina, the Italians.
That's a tough one, and if they lose that match, you know, then the pressure's really on the holders. And just for one bit of slack marking, you know, because they are a little bit, they're not as good as some of the other defenders in this World Cup, the Italians, when the ball is in the air, and the one chance that the Bulgarians got, they tucked away nicely. But they looked very strong, you know. I mean, they're still very much in it. They've got some super players. The Bulgarians, I thought, played really rather negatively and a bit naively in a way. I thought that they ran a little bit too much with the ball. I thought that they cost them a few chances. I remember when Scirea had that great opportunity, it was because 3 Bulgarians had actually carried the ball between them for about 40 yards. And once they'd lost possession, they couldn't get back. And Scirea got a tremendous chance, you know, which the goalkeeper fortunately saved for them.
It's good to see your excitement after the first game of the World Cup, because we're all looking for it so much, and with your experience, just to see that elation shining out of your faces is a good sign for football after today.
Well, football could do with a smile on its face, and at least the World Cup's had a good start today.
Well, that's the message from us, a smile on our face after a pretty good start to the World Cup.